You're watching Let the Quran Speak. Now we answer questions we've received from you, our viewers. If you have a question yourself, please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. Okay, Brother Shabir, a bunch of questions here. The first one is about evolution. So the person is wondering about a verse from the Quran which mentions that God created man from clay and then molded it into shape. So the person is asking, does this mean that God literally molded us? And if so, how does that work with the concept of evolution? Is there a contradiction?
Well, we've dealt with the question of contradiction previously, and this is a sort of follow-up question from that. Yeah. So if we said that there's no contradiction, how do we explain the verses which say that God molded Adam from clay? Well, we can point out that there are verses in the Quran which also say that people in general, even now, have been created from clay. In fact, to this day, when we conduct a Muslim burial, those visiting and participating in the burial ritual are encouraged to throw some dirt by hand to cover the grave, and they are to say the words from a verse of the Quran: "Minha khalaqnakum wa fiha nu'idukum wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra." From it we created you, to it we return you, and once again from it we will cause you to rise. So the it here is from the dirt. So we're acknowledging to this day that this last person we just buried was also created from clay. So the saying that this person was created from clay does not deny that he had parents. And in a similar way, to me, the sayings in the Quran that Adam was created from clay does not deny the fact that he could have had parents. But we would say that Adam was the one of the first conscious Homo sapiens or Homo erectus on whom God bestowed the responsibility of carrying out the commands of God and being responsible now and answerable to God for for the commandments. So you can have an evolution of people over time till they become, let's say, Homo erectus, which means we're dealing with upright individuals who lived some 500,000 years ago, and they had a brain size which is similar to our very own. And at a certain point in this development of human beings, now comes a time when God takes a person and says, with you now I'm going to establish my covenant. I'm going to have an agreement with you. This is my guidance. Follow it. You take on this responsibility. And this person now has the consciousness to do that, and the responsibility that goes with that developed consciousness.
Okay.
That would be Adam.
Okay, it's very interesting analysis. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Now we have another question. This is an individual who became a Muslim and realized that they had been making money that wasn't necessarily lawful within Islam. So they're wondering what they should do now, I guess, with the money and with their earnings.
Well, if money was obtained unlawfully, then the best way of repenting is to return the money to its rightful source, because usually it's taken from some source. If the source is not identifiable, then you give it away to some charity that does not benefit an individual directly, but maybe confers benefit to society at large. Or do something for the protection and well-being of animals, in which case it doesn't go to any human individual, and no one feels guilty benefiting from money which was illegally or unlawfully or irreligiously earned. If the recipients can be identified, then you return it to the recipients. If they're not around and you can give it to their heirs, their rightful heirs, then that would be the best thing to do as well. In any case, one has to ask God to forgive him or her and be determined not to return to this sort of activity in the future.
Okay. The next question we have is about polygamy. So the individual is saying, scholars have talked about how it's allowed, but they haven't discussed the legality of polygamy while living in the U.S., where it is against the law. So the person is asking, as a Muslim man, can he practice polygamy in the U.S.?
Whether in the US or Canada, or perhaps the same would apply for many other of the modern developed countries, usually there is a marriage registration process where the marriage is recognized as legal within the civil laws of the country. A marriage performed through religious ritual is also in Canada considered to be a legal marriage. Mm-hmm. So some Muslims may have the idea, well, I married the one woman legally according to the civil laws of the country, so this is my legal wife. And the Sharia or the Islamic law still allows me to have a second, third, or fourth. But I can't obviously register those with the civil laws, but I can get married to these other women through the religious ritual, and I can consider them my wife. Well, the law considers those your legal spouses as well, in which case you are now in a bigamous situation, and you could be charged by the law of the land. So Muslims should not do anything that disobeys the law of the land. This is not a requirement for Muslims to marry multiple wives. It is only a permission for some circumstances, and mostly that circumstance does not apply here. All
right, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Brother Shabir.
You're welcome.
For updates and additional information, please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com, and write to us because your comments and questions help guide the show. I'm Safiya Ali. For all of us here at Let the Quran Speak, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.